Happy August 1st. It is time to talk about this month's budget. Every month when I share my budget, I feel like it's maybe a touch pointless because my budgets are so boring at this point. At the end of the day, a boring budget is what makes me happy and what works for me because I am on a really low income. And after 9 years of battling the debt from silly financial decisions in my 20s, I've really come to believe that for me, monthly payments are like the root of all evil. It's when those monthly obligations get away from you is when you can never get ahead, and that's pretty much how I spent all of my 20s and early 30s. And my budget is boring now because I have the same monthly payments every month. I refuse to let anything new in, and that's probably until the day I die how it's going to be. I do not want any more debt payments. I have one left, even after 9 years. Yeah, we all know the federal student loans. And honestly, after sharing the last 5 years of my debt journey, I now know that consistency is key, and putting it out there is a really lovely degree of accountability that I need. So thank you guys for being here and keeping me on track. Now, before I get into my spreadsheet, 2 monthly bills that I don't have, the monthly cell phone payment and the monthly car insurance payment, I pay those annually and biannually. That is as infrequent as they will let me pay, and that gets me a discount and eliminates 2 monthly payments. And I have sinking funds set up to save up for those things. Now, we always start at the top with the incomes, and currently my highest income is my W-2 income, which is not very high, but my W-2 income goal is $750, and all I want from that is to cover rent and food and groceries. My next income is YouTube, and my goal for that is just to meet the $100 payout threshold. I've really been slacking these last few months with wanting to share my life, but I'm trying to get back into that. And so I don't know if I'll hit the $100 mark, but we'll see. And then support, I have a $0 goal, but generally each month there are lovely people out there who choose to support me directly on Venmo or PayPal, but $0 expectation here always. And then my next income is the interest from my high yield savings account, which is where I keep my emergency fund and all of my sinking funds. And that should gain me, I'm hoping, about $130. Not even sure what the APY on it is at the moment, but I know it has gone down a little bit lately. And now my expenses. My biggest expense right now is rent, and I pay $500 a month to my partner to live here with him. We live in a really quiet small town in the western New Hampshire, and I'm loving it here. Moving to a rural area has been so great for my spending. I have so much less incidental spending just from being out and about all the time and not living in an apartment and feeling like I was stuck there. So I had to go out to do something to enjoy myself. And now I can just step out the front door and I'm in my big, beautiful garden. There's lakes and trails everywhere. Oh my gosh. Yes. So we live where it's cheap is the point of that. And I'm loving it. Anyway, $500 to my partner, and that encompasses everything. My next monthly payment is to Mohila. It's my student loan payment, and it's still on a $0 forbearance. I have requested to get onto an income-based plan, but there's a bit of a processing delay. My payment is still $0 for the moment. Hopefully that'll change soon. And Netflix is the one kind of splurge monthly payment I allow. No, it's not a necessity, but like one streaming platform I feel like is okay, and that's $24.99 a month. I do have the expensive plan because my parents. And then food and household, my second largest expense, that's $250, and Bob and I each put $250 into an account that we use just for food. And having like a dedicated account with a dedicated amount in it to go to the grocery store with has been so nice. It's just made budgeting for the food and groceries so much easier. It's like, it's $250 each and that's it. And we have been very comfortably staying within that. So $500 a month for 2 people. In today's economy, that's pretty dang good, I think. I know it's just from years of me being really frugal. Most months we've had extra to even take ourselves out to eat too. So I'd say it's working out pretty darn good. And then gas and car wash, $60. That has dropped dramatically. I spend more when I have to work. So it might be a little bit more than that. And then pet, vet, I'm guessing 75. I think they will need food and litter this month because I haven't bought anything for well over a month now. And then invest, donate, save, and spend. I'm just putting them all at $50. All 4 of those really only are able to happen if I do have an income that, of course, is over $750 and everything else is covered. So they generally don't happen. But the good thing is that spending. There's been so much less spending. It's been really exciting for me. In fact, like now that I feel like I'm in this new chapter of life, like no longer on a hardcore debt-free journey, I'm now just like, finally, even though I'm not debt-free and like not everyone agrees with the fact that I'm no longer on that hardcore debt-free journey without being totally debt-free. Like I get that many people don't understand that, but I've talked so many times about why I'm okay with having a federal student loan monthly payment, and I will happily pay my 25 years of payments. But now that I'm more in the phase of way less mental stress because of all the years of cleaning up my finances and finally getting to a place where like I'm good, I'm okay with my situation, like happy. And now I want to focus on something other than just all out debt-free journey. Like now I just want to enjoy life, but like keep my financial senses about me. Like I'm not just throwing everything I've struggled so hard for years out the window, you know? Like it's just, I just need a chapter of peace and break and calm, and this is it, and I'm enjoying it. And the financial aspects of that I'm now finding enjoyable, which before it was like paying off debt was so much fun, and doing the debt snowball, it was so exciting, so motivating, and I was just like loving it, even though I hated the job, hated my life. Like that enthusiasm and knowing that I was changing my future, it kept me going. And like, yeah, the federal student loan situation just doesn't give me the same feels, if you know what I mean. So I've switched gears, and now the fun for me is finding ways to not spend money, which, to be perfectly frank, in this freaking economy, feels like probably the most important thing I can do. And again, carrying forward my same financial principles that I've held for years that got me here, which are avoiding debt, avoiding monthly payments, not financing anything, not spending any money on anything unless I save up for it and like truly make sure that that item is going to bring value to my life. I'm not just buying junk. Amazon does not roll up this driveway. Especially all this buy now, pay later shit. Avoid that. Avoid that so hard. Don't do it. So now this is what's fun for me, is how little can I spend? What can I find for free? Which, like, by the way, so much fresh fruit. 'Tis the season for fruit picking is everywhere, and I cannot wait to load the freezer. It's slowly happening. I'm so happy. Yeah, and just like totally sinking into rural life in the country and like tuning out all of the white noise of bullshit. And like, I'm going off on a tangent, I'm really sorry, but like avoiding social media, avoiding news, avoiding all of it. And I don't feel any pressure to spend money on things. I don't feel FOMO. I'm not getting advertised to. It's just so great. So great. Honestly, it feels every bit as good as I thought this chapter would feel. Like, I cannot explain how mentally calm and at peace and happy I am here. And I think there's also a component of feeling at peace that also just kind of naturally drops your spending. Because if you're at peace with where you are, what you have, what you're doing, and what you've got going on, then you don't feel the need to add things in. And so even though I do get a lot of flack for no longer trying to work as many hours as I can to make as much money as I can, to try as hard as I can to get ahead of my federal student loans, even though they charge me $3,200 freaking dollars a month in interest that just continually compounds, and I couldn't even begin to scratch that if I tried. I can't make people understand that, and I like don't even want to try anymore. I know there's some of you that like totally get it, and that's cool. And I don't even care if people don't agree with that. It's like, I'm at peace. I don't care anymore. I mean, I always will hear people out, and I value everyone's opinion. I always have. Like, it feels just so much more important to me nowadays to focus on minimizing spending and avoiding debt, avoiding financing, avoiding buying things, and instead focusing on shrinking my world, but not mentally, but like, you know, by staying off of social media and plugging into what everyone around the globe is doing and tuning that out, and instead focusing on my neighbors and shopping at the farmer's market and stopping at the veggie stands on the side of the road and free concert in town and just doing all of the cute little small town things and meeting new neighbors, because, you know, Bob grew up here, so he knows people. And so I'm meeting a lot of people and plugging into face-to-face contact with people instead of just through a screen. Again, sorry about the tangent there. I just like, it's all tied together, right? What is fun is leaning into the free hobbies. Like, I'm in the White Mountains and in one of the lakes regions. Like, there's so much free nature activity that is just so good for your mind and your body. All of it costs $0. So yay. But anyway, boring budget, happy budget. Early next week, we'll have the July budget review up, which is where things get a little bit more chaotic and interesting. Shout out to the Boring Budget Club, and I'll see you guys soon.